Hey everyone, welcome back to more Warhammer Underworlds. I'm DisturbingPuppet. So we are playing through as the Tzeentch faction here, the Eyes of the Nine. I have made a few changes to the deck about how we get victory points, so maybe that will help. These guys are kind of a weak warband. They do have a lot of range, but they're a little squishy and, yeah, don't do a whole lot of damage either. So we've had a little bit of trouble with them playing. It is kind of fun to play around with the spells, which isn't something I've done with the other warbands. So we're just going to keep running through and try this out. So we played Skaven last time, so we're on to Thorns of the Briar Queen, which is unfortunate because this is actually a very good warband. So probably we're going to get wrecked. See if we can put up a fight at least. Like I said, I have made a few changes. We'll see if any of that really helps. You can go ahead. That's fine. I really don't care. All right. So we got 4 people that we want to deploy relatively far back. So I do kind of like the Animus Forge or the Shaishian Star Dial. Are there any others that would be good? Not particularly. Let's go, well, this one, I think there's something kind of blocking here, and I think this one there's lava, which is potentially a problem, but we'll go with the Animus Forge. And then I just like a basic square map. The AI will sometimes do weird stuff with the placement, but I am fine with that. Briar Queen's going to be rough. I do have a few things that matter for objectives, so we'll just, throw some in our backfield wherever. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. For lethal hexes, why don't we put one kind of right about there-ish? So we'll see what we get here to start with. So, score this immediately if a friendly fighter takes an enemy fighter out of action, while at least 3 hexes from the fighter. Potentially doable, we just have to whittle people down first. Score this end phase if the same friendly fighter has held the same objective at the end of 2 consecutive action phases. So we can have just kind of one of our weak guys just park on an objective somewhere for a while and get that one. And score immediately if the second or subsequent time you use the summon a blue horror. So we want to get a blue horror out ASAP, and if it dies, we have to summon another one later to get that one scored. Okay, over here we've got a spell for some damage at 3 range. We have this upgrade. If you're holding an objective, at the end of the 3rd phase, get another glory point. Another spell. 4 hexes away, do 1 point of damage. This one, choose enemy fighter holding an objective, so we can only hit someone on an objective with that one, and an upgrade for extra health. These are okay. I mean, these aren't spectacular. We can kind of play with this one, and this will want to kind of whittle people down first to do that anyway, but yeah, that's fine. I kind of like making do with whatever I draw, but I feel like that's probably part of why I'm not getting as many victory points, because I don't have anything in this deck that gives me a lot of victory points. Most of the other factions had, like, you could reliably keep people off your side of the board, and you could get victory points that way. You could reliably, well, not reliably, but you could possibly kill everybody, and that would give you a lot of victory points. So that was kind of something that you could do to make things work out a little better for you. Whereas these guys, they just don't do much damage, and we can't really keep people away. We're good at moving around, and the other option I could try would be to just go for capturing victory points, because we can move around and hit stuff at range. Alright, let's take a look here. The weird field of view here that popped in. So the Varklov is actually the first one, not the Briar Queen herself. So this guy can drive the other chain rasps around. Couple damage, right? So let's go ahead and put Kacharik next to our leader there, our spellcaster. He can actually hit pretty hard, but he can't take much damage. And then, of course, the Briar Queen's going to hang out front. She does have an attack at 2 range, I think. Yeah, so she can attack out to 2 range. They can move through, so the lethal hexes don't matter for them at all. They're just spirits, so they just float right over it like it's not even there. So one of you 2 is going to park on an objective, so we'll do that in the back with one of you. There's the Hanged over there. And then you can just go there. So first things we probably want to do is summon a blue horror. That will also draw some of the enemy attention. There's a lot of them, and there's quite a few that are fairly low on health, so maybe we can get some victory points. But we definitely need to get lucky enough to upgrade our guys, which is definitely a problem. So first things first, let's summon a blue horror. Let's just throw you out front right there, or maybe you will attract some attention. Push all chain rasps up to 2 hexes. So it's just kind of the little guys. I don't think it counts for Varklov. Doesn't work on the Briar Queen either. Alright, so we do have something here. Choose enemy fighter within 4 hexes. They can take a point of damage. Is somebody within 4? Yeah. So that Everhanged just barely got in. So we'll try to do that as a spell. And I did cast it. Do we whittle you down or get you to the point? Let's try to get you to the point where we could maybe kill you. So you can have a point of damage. Enemy turn. Briar Queen is flying on in and going for a crit whip. I'm assuming on the blue horror. Immediately kills him. But you don't get victory points for that. They just turn into the Brimstone Horrors. You don't get victory points until the Brimstone Horrors die for their death. Wasting a healing potion. I mean, not totally wasted, but it's a little bit. Alright, so enemy fighter within 3 hexes of the caster. Take a point of damage, push them. Okay, I mean, we might as well try. The only one is the Briar Queen. So we have a few spells to burn here, just to do a little bit of chip damage for free, if we can actually get it. I think we need 2, so we didn't actually get the spell off there. So spells are kind of difficult to get to work. So what do we want to do? So I need to hit somebody at range 3 for Vortimus to be inspired. We need to kill somebody at range 3. And we need to park someone on an objective. So I could... So definitely one of our actions, we want to park someone on an objective. We want to do that for sure. I could go ahead and try to charge the Briar Queen and go for a big hit with Kacharik. Possibly, because I think he does 3 damage. Yeah, if I could actually get 3 damage, I could get her down to the point where maybe we could pick her off. So I'm going to try for that, although I feel like it's pretty iffy. Ooh, double crit. Well, never mind. Yeah, we're fine with that. Apparently he is inspired, because we did cast a spell next to him, which I didn't realize. That's kind of his condition. So we actually have a free reroll if we wanted it. We actually land a big ol' strike on her, and I can actually move her far enough away that I could just stand still and throw a spell with my leader. So let's push you. The lethal tiles don't do anything. Let's push you there. I don't want you next to any of your friends. So that was a really nice hit, actually. Double hit going in. Alright, you're dead. That is going to give them a victory point. Advancing strike, so killing someone in my area, an upgrade. Not out of action at the end of something. Multiple upgrades. Looks like they're both on Varklov in the back. So what did you do? Destiny to meet. If you're not out of action at the end of the 3rd phase, get an extra glory point, which is a victory point. And when this fighter's attack action takes enemy out of action, gain an additional. So you want to kill stuff with him and keep him alive, ideally. Alright, so you're at a range of 3. So if I can hit you and kill you, we'll get a victory point for killing someone at range 3. And I'll get Vortimus to be inspired, which is kind of like they're leveling up. I could also just summon a blue horror, which would mean I'd get a victory point, but I'd like to maybe take out the Briar Queen if I can. So I'm just going to stand still and take a shot. Got a crit, so I think that will actually count as a hit. Nice. We get the death from afar. We get the kill. The Briar Queen is down. I don't know why she rushed in, but I guess in that position she could have gone for a lot of different attacks. Alright, we have a couple upgrades. So we have, if you're holding an objective in the third end phase, score a glory point. So we want to put that on whoever we're going to park just on an objective in the back. So I'm thinking maybe you. So let's do that. And then for extra health, I probably should put it on my wizard. He's the only one who can cast spells. But Kacharek here at only 3 health is a little bit weak to attacks. So he's kind of a glass cannon. So I think I'm actually going to give it to him instead of my leader, because I haven't taken any hits on my leader yet. So Kacharek, have some extra health. I'm going to try to gang up on him. That's a miss, which is good because I didn't dodge. Or block, either one. Endless Malice, so I think if he makes a certain roll, he can actually go for a second attack. So he did go for the second attack, got some damage. And making a reaction got him 1, and 3 people dead. Seems like it didn't even matter who was dead, as long as 3 people died. He got some extra ones. So we're at 2, which is not fantastic. What did we get here? Friendly fighter attack with a range of 3 or more fails. So this is one of the ones that I put in recently because we had a lot of these that just didn't land. So hold the objective, summon another blue horror. So it's my last action. I need to put somebody on one of the objectives, so that's what I'm going to do. So instead of going for an attack, I'm just going to move you up to park on that objective. Bringing in more ghosts. We've got a little bit of range on them. I'd really like to go first in the next round. We'll kind of see how it goes, though. Okay, so this one is definitely doable because we'll probably miss. This one we're just going to get eventually. And this one we'll get on the next round because we'll summon a blue horror right away. So I'm fine with all of that. So this one, we could hit somebody on an objective. Yeah, it's fine. We can hold on to that. 3 or more ploys, so we got another victory point for that. We're falling behind pretty handily, but if we can kill a bunch of his weak guys, that gives us a lot of victory points. So I really want to go first here. Okay, the opponent's going to get to choose. Okay, going for a kill on our weak guy, but it did not work. Special attack, extra damage. Alright, so this guy's moved and attacked. He can't really do much of anything. I now do 2 damage with him, and I don't have to move. We can just try to blast this Chain Rasp with a spell. So that's what I'm going to do. I can still do other stuff later. Just see if I can take him out before he can act. We do get a crit, so that should be death for you. Alright, what did we even get? So we have an upgrade. If this fighter is holding an objective in the third end phase, score a glory point, so we could definitely throw that on our other guy down there. As far as other upgrades, beginning of each action phase, remove up to 1 wound. That's quite good. That was one that I think that I added. Plus 1 damage to all spell attacks. That's also really good. Trusted Defender. You can roll 1 defense die for the fighter when they are the target of an attack. I'm worried. Beginning of each action phase. So that's only going to be, once per round. And it's already passed at this point, I believe, if I'm thinking of this correctly. I think I'm just going to go for the victory points, although this is very tempting to put on Vortimus to have my spells do more damage. I'm just going to put the Formless Key on Narvia back here, who's just parking on this objective to get me victory points. Giving that guy up front some extra movement. And extra health on Varklov in the back, or was it somebody else? I think that was somebody else. And then, got a crit. I got a crit to block, though, but he did also get a hit. So that is going to land. So, yeah, poor Kucharik is dead. Just like that. Precise use of force. It's exactly the amount of damage needed to kill somebody. Unfortunate. Alright. At this point, I should probably summon a blue horror, because it's going to get me victory points. Even though it's very tempting to just start beating stuff to death. Like, I could go for a strike on the closer chain rasp without having to move. I can hit both of them, but it's only 2 damage. Let's get the blue horror out, because that's guaranteed. Just taking a while and being weird. Let's put you... Say, I don't know if I have a ranged attack. Let's put you there. Get our summoner victory point. And with that, we could go more damage on spells, I think, is probably what we want to do. Or do I want to go defensive? I'm fine for this turn, because these guys up front have already acted and moved, and they can't do anything. So, yeah, let's go extra damage on spells for Vortimus. That is a hit. Is that 1 damage or 2? It is 2 damage. Not completely dead, he's just turned into a different kind of horror. Three or more fighters adjacent to someone, got him another victory point. Yeah, even though we're doing like mediocre on victory points, we're getting outmatched here. 4 more spells, missing a range 3, same fighter on objective, so we'll have that one in a bit. So what I probably should do, I don't know if you even can attack from there because of this being in the way. We might want to just start hammering with the staff. Because I do have someone adjacent here. If I don't move... So this one is the 2 magic dice, whereas this one's 2 dice. So it's basically about the same, although I have somebody next to him. This does count as a spell. So let's just try to zap you with the spell. Another crit, but he got a crit to block. I think my other one is a hit, though. I'm not 100% sure. Well, I missed. Okay, so we get the miss. And I can drive you back. I suppose I will. Not that the lava will do anything, because you're a ghost. So let's give my leader, Vortimus, some extra defense. Yeah, we're definitely doing a little better on victory points. And the big guy's coming in. It would be nice to kill him because he's getting extra victory point if he's still alive at the end, but I don't know if that's really going to work out. For my last action, so what do we have? Took 2 or more fighters out of action, 4 or more spells, and then the knowledge. I think we just go for just trying to zap somebody. And even though it says 2 here, I do 3 damage now. So I could try to just kill the Everhanged. I think that's probably for the best. Let's just try to zap him with a quick spell. That was a failure, I think. No, it wasn't. Okay. I'm still kind of unsure sometimes about the spell results you need and stuff. Alright, so that's another one dead, and we have a way to get some health back. So I'm going to go ahead and play that on Vortimus as well. So if I do take a shot, I can get a little bit of health back, although that won't really matter because we're already into the last act here. Okay, there's my harnessing knowledge coming through. Ultimate change. What was ultimate change? Wasn't that like multiple spells or something? Took 2 or more fighters. Oh, we did actually take 2 or more fighters. Okay. So we have cast 4 or more spells. It really depends on what we get. So I will sit on that. That's fine. So we're almost caught up on victory points, which is kind of crazy, considering how things were going earlier. So this one, we can only hit someone if they're on an objective. And no one's near an objective at the moment, but I'll hold on to it just in case. Like, they could try to push down and grab this one or something. Again, I would like to go first. And it's my choice. Let's see what we got. Score immediately if your warband successfully casts 2 or more spells. Score in the end phase if you played no ploys. I don't have that many ploys in the deck. And then if we cast 4 or more spells. Over here for upgrade, when inspired, you can roll an extra dice when attempting to cast a spell. That would be nice to put on Vortimus. We've got the vampiric weapon. An extra lightning for the first spell we attempt to cast. That is a ploy, so I should not play this in order to get another victory point. Don't play that. I gotta remember. And then, if the spell is cast, choose a friendly fighter, move to 2 wound tokens from them. And then, of course, the 1 damage on an objective. So nothing too crazy. The magical attacks that I've been doing with my leader do count as spells for things like this. You need to stay there. Don't play my ploy. Cast a bunch of spells. So yeah, I'm going to go first. And I'm just going to try to zap somebody. I'm just going to stand still and try to take out the chain rasp there. Crit. He did get a crit to block, though. I don't know if the other one counts as a hit. I think I just pushed him, so let's push him a little further away. Disappointing. Maddening cackle. Fighter's no longer inspired and cannot be inspired. Oh, that's not nice. So I've lost some damage output with my leader then. That really sucks. Okay, well. There's nobody I can heal with this. Let's go for extra dice on spells. And I can only really play this on Vortimus, but now I'm not doing as much damage. I can still do 2. So we got Face of Death as an upgrade on him, so I think he's just scary up close. So instead of doing, since I'm no longer inspired, I do 1, but now it's +1, so 2. So I still have the +1 damage and the +1 dice. Oh no, it's 1 inspired. Ah, crap. Well, I couldn't play it anybody else. Nobody else does spells. I still do the +1 damage on spells, though. Well, that is disappointing. So let's put the vampiric weapon on my leader as well. Not that it really matters. Putting somebody on guard. Don't play the ploy. This one is heal, so there's no point casting it. All I did was knock him back a little bit, which is unfortunate. He's just going to go for a strike. I do block. I think that is counting as a hit, so he is going to die. Roll. They are no longer inspired, I think is what it was. Cruel taunt. He didn't roll what he needed, so it's not that big a deal, but really the only person that's inspired right now is my leader, so it doesn't really matter too much. Don't play that. And don't need to heal anybody, so yeah, we're fine. So I can just keep standing still and zapping people for 2, which is enough to take out some of these guys. He's probably going to move in. Marklov here is going to be a bit of an issue, though. I am going to get some extra victory points as long as he survives, just parking on the objective. So I just need to cast spells, which is really just him doing stuff. I could get another blue horror as a distraction. What action is this? Second action. Yeah, I'd rather kill somebody. He attacked and didn't move, so he could still move and attack. So let's try to just zap him and take him out. That's a complete and utter miss, I believe. Very disappointing. Don't need to heal, so we're fine on that. Trying to cast things that were count as spells. Uh-oh. Don't you kill him. Don't you kill him. He's going to knock him off the objective, though. I need to get him back on the objective before the end because of his upgrades. So like this one, hold an objective in the third end phase. Holding objective in the third end phase. So I have 2 of those, so I need to get him on that objective. Him being down here is really dangerous for us. But he moved and attacked, so he can't do anything else. So I'm just going to move him up and put him back on the objective. And while I'm at it, I might as well go for an attack. 2 dice, 1 damage. 2 dice, 1 damage. I don't think this actually counts as a spell, though, even though it says it's a bolt. I mean, I'll do it just to see, but I don't think it actually counts as a spell. Okay, gonna knock him back a little bit. Let's do that, just so he's kind of in the way. Do get inspired. So this one, the heal. Choose a friendly fighter, move up to 2 wound tokens from their card. Let's see if I can heal him. I think I've tried this before and just didn't work, so we select him as a wizard. So we did roll it. Yeah, now it's letting me do it. I did this before, and I wanted to heal Kacharik and couldn't, so I don't know what the deal is, but now we can actually heal him up. So we'll do that. And that does count as a spell. Coming on in. Didn't get a crit. I got my avoid, so I'm fine there. Pretty lucky, actually, that I didn't get nuked there. But he did move an attack, so that means he's done. Okay. So let's kill off this guy, hopefully. So which is better? Do we go for the rune staff, or do we just try to zap him? We try to zap him with a spell, because it counts as a spell. Because spells are going to give me other victory points, if we can actually get it. So that would count as a hit, but he got a crit to avoid or block or whatever. So it did not actually work. It's charging way over there. Complete whiff, though, thankfully. Okay, let's see how this is going to shake out. So we got a couple more for being on the objective. We got 1 for not playing a ploy. No NA fighters in his territory, so he gets up to 14. I did get 11, which is the most I've ever gotten with these guys, I think. So we put up a good fight, actually, and we got pretty close. So I think this is better. Like, the way I've kind of changed some of the things to get victory points, we actually got, like, a decent amount. but you know, preferably you should be getting into the teens if you can at all. Just not quite. Alright, so we'll give them a try, and next up is, I think, the freaky dwarves. The freaky looking naked dwarves. So we'll give them a try. Yeah, it's kind of fun to play with the spells and stuff, but I feel like this is a really hard warband to play. Anyway, this has been more of Warhammer Underworlds. I've been Disturbing Puppet. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully I will see you again next time. Until then, have a good one.